one. I think we're going live.
Make
going
sure your
live.
sound is turned off
My
over
sound?
there.
What sound?
On
on this.
on there.
Okay, all right.
You do that every time.
Calm down. Calm down. Don't need this nonsense. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're live. We are live, and the audience can see you.
Hi.
So I wanted to pitch you a show. It's called Jabby Romance, season -1, and basically it's like Memento, and it starts out with APOORVA and Jabby as an old married couple, and we work our way backwards to when we met in an interview.
Wow. I would love that. I mean, I'm up for it. I'm signing it.
So the first question everyone wants to know is, why did you guys make us wait so long between seasons?
I wish we didn't have to. Being an actor, I really don't have much control over it. All I can do is wait and keep checking with the producers if they are ready with the scripts and if they're ready to shoot. But it really depends on the writers and the producers and the creators who decide to make the shows.
Yeah.
So I guess we should hit them up next time and ask them, because I myself wait so much. When a show does well, I sort of wait for another season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm with the audience.
Is that a Fitbit on your wrist?
Sorry?
Is that a Fitbit?
Oh yeah, that's not like an Apple thing. It's a different brand, but
Which one is that?
this is a OnePlus band.
Oh,
that
it just
I've
connects.
started using.
It just connects to your phone, or is it like a fitness thing?
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It does. It works on its own also, but it's connected to my phone.
So it's been almost 10 years since its release. Do you have any particularly fond memories from Oh My God?
I remember being complimented by a very senior actor whose name is Paresh Rawal.
Mhm.
And when I did that film, I had no idea my part is going to be so small. I didn't know I'm supposed to ask what my part is. I was just happy to be doing a film at the age of 15. We shot it when I was 15, and getting to play Paresh Rawal's daughter in a film, in a feature film, was a big deal as it is. I didn't really bother how many days of shoot I'm going to have or how many dialogues I have. And there was this one small scene that I did, and I did this like whole wink, and I was cute and all. And then Paresh sir came to me and complimented me for it. So that was one of the happiest day of my life, because that person had been juggling film shoots and theater and politics and whatnot, and then giving it as his all. And considering who he is, it was a big deal for me at 15.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, that was a great moment.
That's crazy. Did you get to hang out with Akshay Kumar at all while you were on set?
Yeah, a little.
A little.
A little. I mean, like I was an introvert kid, and I'm socially anxious, so it was difficult for me to sort of get that whole conversation going. I would just be there on set and just watch him be amazing and be so confident and have fun on set, and I would just be like, "Oh, this is so cool."
Yeah.
So, but then he was really, really kind to me,
Yeah.
and he did give me a bit of attention, and I will cherish that forever.
Were you sorry, just one more thing about that. Were you at all nervous when you met him? Were you aware of how big he was when you met Akshay Kumar?
I was. I had grown up watching his films, and coming from the kind of family that I am from, my parents were just normal working people, and they would just probably switch on the TV at night, watch whatever's on. And of course, Akshay Kumar being the star that he is, and he's always been, something or the other would be on, and they would watch movies, and then they would read news that he's so disciplined, and he's so like, he has this specific schedule that he follows every day. And I got to see that firsthand. So I heard on set that he's just flown in early morning from another set, and he's come and he's taken a bath in his vanity van to get ready for this shoot. And I was like, it's not just PR. It's not just for the sake of giving articles in newspapers. It's for real. He is like that. So that was great. And it's not just PR, and it's not just your herogiri, as they call it in India, that makes you a star. I think it's all of this. And I learned that at a very early age from him.
Yeah.
Well, piggybacking off of that, we have a question from the chat here from Milap Rain. He said you've worked with Akshay, Kumar, as well as Sunny Deol. How were those experiences like? So you've talked a bit about Akshay Kumar. What about Sunny Deol? What was that like?
Oh, I didn't really work with Sunny's Deol.
Oh, okay.
I think
Well,
they're mistaken.
they're mistaken. Sorry,
It's
Milab.
a different APOORVA Aurora. you're thinking
Different
of.
one. But Akshay Kumar
There
was
are more?
awesome.
The world has to see more Apoorvas. I feel bad.
Oh, I forgot to tell you the name. I was going to name your character in my show, Kushi. You know, something you've never
Oh,
played.
that would be the third time I'll be called Kushi.
It seems like it comes up a lot, so just figured I'd stay in
Yeah.
line with the trend. So if this is my I guess you can tell it's like a written question the way it's phrased. But if I had to guess, you probably have had something in the vicinity of 1 billion views, like people just seeing you. Maybe like probably more than that. Do you still feel excitement when you see a video you're in doing well, or does it feel normal, or does it just make you feel hungry? Like, how does it make you feel when you see like crazy views? Because like I think it becomes commonplace for a number of people after a certain point.
Right, right. I was recently talking to a co-actor of mine, and he had a really good point to make, and I kind of agree with that because I do that too.
hmm
I mean, when we are making something, when I'm shooting for a film or a video or a web show, we really don't go there as actors. At least I try not to go there, and I don't really think about the numbers because that's only going to hamper your art, I feel.
Right.
And it's like you're not giving your best then. Your motivation is extrinsic then.
Right.
So but when it releases, the artist brain shuts and the business brain opens up, and I want to see numbers. The more numbers that my video gets, the more work it gets me, because for me, I don't really have anybody backing me up. So in order to get more work, I need my videos and my shows to do well. So the numbers definitely matter to me. I get really excited when I see a video of mine trending. So yeah, it definitely gets me going, but not while I'm filming.
That's really cool that you're
Yeah.
able to do that. That's really, really interesting. I guess that's the same for us. I can't help but think sometimes, though, when we're in the middle of making something like, okay, we know this one is going to do like explosive views, and we try to like maintain the mindset like you're talking about. Is there a trick that you learn in order to like, divide the two minds, or is it just natural?
I think it comes naturally to me because when I started acting on YouTube wasn't a thing back then when I started.
Right.
And it was either for films or for ads. And yeah, I mean, I used to do these ads and short films and feature films, and the numbers that mattered back then were like directly like box office numbers,
hmm
and that kind of didn't concern me that much because as long as I was getting films, as long as I was getting work to do, I was happy. And it wasn't really like directly brought to me that this is the amount of money that we've made. Also, I was really young. Also, that I didn't really bother about money so much at that age and about seeing numbers. But so I think that sort of helped me distinguish between this and that, like the artist side and the business side.
Right.
So yeah, that must have helped me.
We have a question here from Sumant Kumar. He says, "Please ask what all struggles she faced because she first is a woman, and secondly, she doesn't have any godfathers. Also, tell her I'm a big, big fan of her work and completely in love with her."
I think you're going to be
Thank
getting
you.
that last part a
Yeah.
lot.
Thank you.
Really? That's surprising. Why would that happen? I'm glad you enjoyed the sarcasm.
Oh my god, if I once I get comfortable, there's no holding back.
Okay.
I mean, I hope we're not rolling by the time I get really comfortable and my jokes get really dark.
Oh no, I want to be rolling at that point.
See, now you're thinking about numbers
Yeah.
while filming.
So, are there any struggles you face? I think that was the gist of his question.
I mean, yeah, I did, because I still feel that I'm almost 25 years old. I've been working for the last 11 years. I still feel that I can get much, much better work than what I'm doing.
hmm
I can still get better roles. Roles can be written. I mean, I don't want to brag about myself, but I feel like I get my art. I've trained for this, and I've trained on the job. it's like over the years I've gathered knowledge from films, from filmmakers, and from people that I've worked with. So I feel that yeah, I'm still facing struggles, and every day is a rejection. You audition, you meet people for roles. I mean, if they call you, of course, and there's work that's releasing, and if it's not doing well, you feel bad. There's so much pressure in terms of facing that sort of rejection. So that is one struggle. And of course, when you move away from home, at least when I did, I didn't really want my parents supporting me that much. So I wanted to like do things on my own. Of course, they did. I was very young when I did, and they sort of. I'm grateful to them for backing me up and helping me out whenever needed, whenever I was struggling in whatever ways, and talking to me, being there for me. But I also wanted to do things on my own and make sure that I'm this independent person that my parents always have raised me to be. So though yeah, those were the kind of struggles that I had to face. And then sometimes I would like, there have been times where I got a part and I'm really happy about it, even if it's not the lead part. It's a great role, they've written great scenes, and I'm happy about it. And then suddenly I get to know that I'm not doing it because somebody's daughter or somebody's friend is doing it.
Oh,
So yeah, these are the kind
wow.
of things you face.
Okay,
Oh, that's a
if you
bummer.
don't mind me asking, since you kind of brought
Mm-hmm.
it up, how do you feel about
Right.
nepotism?
I honestly don't see a problem in an actor or a producer's child becoming an actor or a
Okay.
producer, because my mom runs a salon in Delhi. If I was not here, I could probably be running that.
hmm
So I don't see a problem. I just feel that if there are 100 people being auditioned for one role, and if it's somebody's son or daughter being cast in that, it would be great if you audition them as well, so that everybody gets an equal chance, or at least they feel that they're getting an equal chance.
Sure.
And yeah, the audience is really smart. They support whoever is deserving.
hmm
So it's not really a question of who's related to whom. It's just about being able to get that chance in life and being that lucky, that you're at the right place at the right time. And yeah, that's about it.
That makes
I don't see
sense.
a problem.
Everyone I've asked about that who doesn't come from a film family has the most diplomatic and great answer possible. It's very interesting. Like no one has vitriol about it, at least outwardly. No one seems to have an inherent issue with it. It's just like the manner in which it's
Uh-huh.
executed seems to be the
Yeah,
issue more than anything.
exactly.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
so we haven't seen everything you've worked on, like Basement Company, The Glitch, or Gangstars. But we've watched a lot
Okay,
of you, obviously,
Yeah.
and it seems like
okay.
you're often. It seems like you're often playing the wholesome love interest, sweetheart type in everything we've watched you in. You've played a girl named Kushi multiple times. Do you hope to try roles like Deepika in College Romance in the future in future projects, or roles geared more towards action? I mean, we saw you swinging a bat around at the end of College Romance season 2 a little bit.
Right. Right, right. Okay, so I'm sure that you've seen a lot of sketches and listicles on YouTube, and I have actually done films where I've had to, I mean, not Hindi films, but like regional films.
hmm
I feel that also counts, and I mean, where I have to play, where I've played characters that are completely different from what I've done before, and this whole girl next door vibe is not there. But yeah, I kind of agree with you, because I think I have this face that people tend to cast me in really sweet, romantic, innocent kind of stuff more than badass stuff.
Right.
But now I honestly, I'm seeing a change from when I was in my teens. I had this really plain, girl next door sort of an appearance, but now as I'm growing up, as I feel that I'm maturing with age, I have been auditioning for some really great roles. People have at least started considering me for characters that are not just unidimensional and just there for being there.
Right.
So it's a great step ahead, I feel. At least they're considering me for roles that require something different. As in, like, for Glitch, I played this really underconfident person who is really anxious in a classroom and talking to an entire class. And somebody commented that I can't see, it's so difficult to imagine Apoorva being so underconfident, and that I took as a compliment. And so yeah, I've started getting these kind of roles where I can experiment and there's more for me to do and think about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's getting there.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to
Mm.
piggyback off your
No,
question.
go ahead, go
I've
ahead.
been waiting for that question for so long because I wanted to ask, since you are that kind of, girl next door, dream girl for so many people, because I know when we interviewed Gaga and Aurora, there were so many guys in the chat who were like, stay away from Apoorva. She's my girl. I'm like, dude, you probably don't even know her. Anyway, but you have that persona about you, and you played that so many times. Is there any pressure to kind of be like that in real life, you know?
Not really, not really. I mean, most of my viewers, my audience gets to see me, see how I really am on social media, right? So they kind of accept me the way I am, the way the views that I have, or the things that I say, and the way I behave. I don't really like, even the pictures that I put up are most of the times are not edited. I'm just wearing whatever I'm wearing, and if there's makeup, it's for shoots, and or if it's or for work. So people just accept me the way I am, and that's great. I don't really feel the pressure to put up a personality, or okay, there are some things that you really don't talk about, and you don't really feel entitled to. I mean, you don't really feel like people are entitled to your opinion on things.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to keep that to myself. But the way I am, it's on social media is how my real personality is. I don't really feel like, no, I can't let people see this side of me.
Right.
Gotcha.
We have a question from Dr. Drake Ramore. That's a Friends reference.
Yeah.
What was in your mind when you were shooting for Mystery Hunters India? I didn't even know that you did that.
Oh.
Did you have any idea that you wanted to be an actress from then?
Yeah. In fact, I when I did Mystery Hunters India, so Mystery Hunters, just for context, is a show on Discovery Kids that it's for kids, of course. And there were two of us who used to host individual episodes, and we used to travel and solve mysteries. Like there's this place in Pune, Maharashtra called Shanwarwada, and apparently it's haunted. So I went there. I spoke to people, did some research. Of course, the team did that for me. So that was the only non-fiction work that I've done so far on TV, and that's the only television that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was already an actor before that. In fact, I auditioned for that part, and I must have been 14 or 15. This was just before Oh My God. So yeah, I was an actor then. I did a film called Bubblegum at the age of 13. So
Okay.
That's wild, like that you started so young. Because I mean, I know so many people, their families are maybe not that into them even wanting to pursue the arts in the first place. Like,
mhm.
how how were your parents when like you must have come to them when you were like so little and been like, this is what I want to do, and yeah, how did they take that?
My parents were pretty chill about performing arts because they are the ones who noticed that I am good at it. I'm good at dancing. I can express well. So they sent me to these dance classes, and I started dancing. And then my father saw this, got to know about this workshop that was happening in Delhi, National School of Drama. It's a prestigious acting school, and not just acting school. It's more than that. It's for theater actors. And he saw an ad, or he got a call or something, and then he sent me to those workshops, and that's how I got introduced to acting and expressing myself. And even though they don't teach you acting, they prepare you for the stage, but it kind of got me into it. And yeah, they were okay, they were always okay. And then when I got a part in a TV show when I was still in Delhi, this was right after my first film. I shot that first film while I was still living in Delhi. I got a part, and I, because it's a longer commitment, I decided to move here. I moved here, and the show didn't happen. That was pretty
Oh
sad at the
God.
age of 14.
Oh my God.
Moving, yeah, it didn't happen,
Damn.
and I was really heartbroken because I thought I left everything for this, and then my parents were pretty okay. And because I was 14, and my parents' job was flexible, so they could take turns to live with me and look after me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started auditioning. I started finding out where people are getting tested for roles. My father would go with me and just make sure that everything is okay, and then he would send me in. And I started getting a little bit of work here and there, and I got a really good response from casting people that you are good, you have a good future. And by the time the show people came back to me that they are restarting the project, I decided not to do it. And I think that was a great decision.
Good for you. You're like,
Yeah.
you don't get to reject me. I'll reject you back. Take that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a fun question. Who would make the best? Who would make the best husband material? Karan from Wrong Number, Bhaga from College Romance, Rohan
Hmm.
from Firsts, Sidhu from Siddhartha, or Ruchi from Wrong
Huh.
Number?
I would marry a Ruchi any day. Uh,
Hell yeah.
but even Karan, I mean, he's such a simp. I mean, simp is this term that kids use these days for boys that are really like sweet and nice and they express their feelings. So I think that's what it means. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I feel like I'm old now.
It's close enough.
Yeah, I think that's
Karan.
pretty much what it
Yeah,
means.
it's close enough.
Yeah.
है ना? So Karan would be great because he listens. And I remember in Wrong Number season 1 how Khushi keeps texting him and they talk on the phone and my character just keeps going on and on. So I feel it's great. He'll be, and he's the kind of guy, there's this meme, guys don't take it seriously, it's kind of stalking, but I'm just joking about it, that there was this meme that marry the guy who emails you when you block him everywhere else.
Oh my
So
God.
I think Karan is the guy.
Jesus. Well, speaking of which, do you ever have a moment where you're looking at something your character's doing in a script and you're like, and you're frustrated and you have a conflict and you have to go to the director and like, have you ever had a situation like that where you just felt like it was
I
at
have.
odds with you?
Yeah, that happens a lot of times, and it used to happen earlier as well. But I was new. I didn't really have that kind of confidence or the authority to sort of bring it up with the director or the writer. And also, I was so young, I couldn't really articulate my thoughts that well.
Right.
And now that I'm slightly grown up, I've had this experience, and I feel that now maybe I'm in a position to be able to discuss my scripts and talk to people about it. And sort of bring up issues that I feel are not right. Just say, I mean, for example, in Wrong Number, when season 1 was sent to me, when the script was sent to me, I felt that I really don't want to end up glorifying catfishing. And I talk about safety so much, I talk about these things so much, and then in a show, just because I want a role, I'm not really going to let it get glorified and let Karan get the girl just like that. I said no for it. And the director, Sumit Kumar, when he came on board, I mean, he wasn't on board when the script was sent to me, and then he came on board and he was keen on me doing this. And in fact, he told me that we have the same concerns about catfishing in this show, so we are sorting that out. So you can trust me on that. By the time you start shooting, the script will be rewritten and the issue will be sorted. So that's how I did it. And in College Man season 1, there's a scene where we are making a boy run around, and that's kind of ragging. So the moment I read it, I texted my director that I want to do this show, but do you think my character should be ragging a junior? It's not right. It's unsafe. So many unfortunate incidents have taken place. We should not really glorify this. So they added a couple of things where to dilute it. I still don't agree with it, but they kind of diluted it from what was originally in the script, and I still did it.
Right.
So
right.
yeah,
Right.
these are the kind of things I'm sometimes not okay with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So we have a super chat here from Doom Cluster. It's a very lengthy question. He says, Apoorva, just marry me.
Oh, okay. Nice and sweet. I guess my mom would be happy that there are suitors lined up for me.
Is there any pressure from your family to like get married and have kids and all that stuff? Do you experience that at all?
Not really. Not really. So there was a time when my dad used to say, ki, you have to eventually get married, have a family, have a companion. It's fine. You can do it in your own time. And I said, okay. And now that I have grown up, I have my own opinion. And after your parents have raised you, you raise them, right?
Yeah.
In a way, you tell them things that you learn.
Yeah.
So one fine day, I just asked him, what according to you is the right age that I should get married? He said, I don't know, whenever you feel like. And I'm like, what if I never feel like it? He said, then it's okay. It's fine by me. And I
Wow.
was so glad that my father is also grown up with me. But yeah, my mom is a typical North Indian mom, and she does want me to get married
Okay.
eventually.
It just sounds like your dad is so progressive. That's so
Yeah.
fascinating.
He is, for sure, for sure.
Kamal Shashank says, "How did you get the part in Gang Stars in an unfamiliar language, acting alongside some very established industry veterans?" I'd say you're kind of an
Um,
industry veteran yourself,
Yeah. I
but
mean, you've been
I
around
mean,
for a while.
yeah,
validation.
yeah. So how did you get that part in Gang
Sorry.
Stars? Yeah, I mean, I just imagine you just auditioned for it, right? Like anything
I
else?
didn't really have to audition for it. I had started doing regional films at the age of 16, I guess.
Okay.
And I knew Kannada. I mean, Kannada is also another South Indian language that I knew because I learned it on the job, and I had to mug up my lines, and I was pretty decent with mugging up stuff. And I'm somehow good with languages also.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I used to mug up, eventually I started understanding a bit of it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when a Telugu project came to me, Gangsters was shot in Telugu. They just met me. They took a couple of pictures and they narrated the script to me, and we had to, like, both the parties just had to decide whether they want to do it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. And people in the South are very used to having actors who are not familiar with the language. So they have dedicated people who teach you the lines there. They help you mug it up. They explain it whenever needed. But on this set, since it was a web show, people were constantly improvising, and the actor was like also a script writer, not
Ooh.
of that show, but in
Oh
general.
my God.
So he would always have those suggestions, and my lines would always get changed last minute.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
ended up having to unlearn everything that I just mugged up the night before and learn my lines afresh. So yeah, it was quite a challenge, but I
You,
got through it.
Wow.
I'm glad you explained that because earlier when I was reading like your profile and stuff, I'm like, why does she know so many languages? This is crazy. But I'm like, that would be a dumb question to ask. So, like, you sort of explained it just now. But what do you mean by mug up? What is that? I've never.
Like mark up the
Oh,
the
markup.
I
you mean
think
like
just,
that? Like
yeah, just learn the lines.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
So
Yeah,
you're like
Yeah.
writing
yeah.
phonetically or whatever as you go,
Jackie
right?
Ch- Jackie Ch-
Right.
Jackie
Yeah.
Chan talked about that when he came to working on Rush Hour. Like he'd learn his lines, and then Chris Tucker would improvise everything the next day, and he'd be lost because he wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's hard when it's not your mother tongue to
Yeah.
then suddenly have
Right.
improv thrown in and you're like, "No, I don't know how to express my thoughts."
Yeah.
And it shows on your face, and you have to express well, and then you're just lost, and you have to control it and not make it look like you're trying to remember your lines.
Right.
It is a little difficult, but it's fun.
I just want to acknowledge Ravi Teja in the super chats there. He's sending some cute pictures and stuff. Apoorva, you can't see this, but like, if you ever look at the playback, you'll see it.
And see, yeah,
It's,
some
it's,
some
you see
cute
some cute,
little
little
stickers.
images and stuff. Strong Punjabi
Oh.
says, "Hi Jabby, compliment her for her gorgeous sari. Wow."
He's not the only one, There've been several
Thank
people
you.
I've seen in the chat who were like, sorry, so beautiful. Yeah.
Are the boys simping for me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Simping
Yeah.
Did I use that right?
So apparently you haven't, but like I don't care. Like
Okay.
some people were saying,
But you get the idea, right?
yeah. So basically, simping according to some random comment was it means to be a worshiper of a woman, not someone who's just like
Oh.
not a stalker or I don't know. I don't really
yeah.
know what the word
It's-
means, but like everyone's got a different
Okay.
interpretation.
It's kind of like
it's
that.
art.
Oh, but speaking of wardrobe, so here's one thing that I thought of because I like so much of the costumes in the shows that you've been in, particularly in Wrong Number and College
Mhm.
Romance. So whose wardrobe would you shop in between Kushi and Naira?
Okay, so clearly I love wearing Indian clothes a lot. And Kushi had those kurtis and those long blouse and tops. So I really like that look. I would probably not shop, I would just steal that. And for Naira's role, yes, I would, like, they had a proper styling team on set, and it was like obviously a bigger show, they had more money, so they hired a stylist. So I think that is, since it's professionally styled, I would try that. And I don't have any of that in my wardrobe, those striped tops
Yeah.
and those skirts, so I would like to get that.
It's super cute.
Rohit Ranjan in the chat says, "Simp is a bad word, I thought, but she makes it cute." And I was actually thinking that myself because some people were like, "No, simp is a bad word. Simp is a bad word." But I'm like, the way you're saying it
I'm sorry,
is
guys.
so innocent. And it's like Achara has. I don't forgive me for the language I'm about to use.
It's all right. She
Acha-
was in College Romance.
but
All those words were
but
in there.
Achara became a meme for the word chutia.
Oh, damn.
But like because she said it in such an adorable way, and so it like kind of
Oh.
takes out some of the aggression from the word, and
I
so
was just
Uh-huh.
very excited because we were watching a web series. We were watching pictures, and I don't know, I always pick up
Oh.
bad words from different languages. And so I
That's
already
so much fun, though.
it is fun,
yeah.
and I already knew some, and then in the show someone said chutia, and in the subtitle it said asshole, and I was like, oh, I learned a new word. It's chutia, and then yeah, someone screen captured that, and
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
can
wow.
actually use it in the States and not have people understand it like most people. And you can just vent out your anger also without them realizing that you just abused.
Thank you, Ravi
It's a
Teja.
win-win.
Thank you, Ravi Teja, again. You're funding the future web series with Jabby Romance,
Jabby romance.
starring Jabby and Apoorva Aurora as Kushi. Um, he sent a big super
I
chat, so I
love
had
this
to
idea.
acknowledge it. I noticed you're working with Ambrish Verma again from Wrong Number in Dude. What is Dude, and
Right.
is it at all related to finding a car?
So, Dude, Dude is a show that Amrish has written and directed, and he's been at it
Oh.
since the last 2 years. He when we were shooting for Wrong Number season two, the first schedule of Wrong Number happened in March last year, and we were traveling to set, and he told me that, listen, I've been trying to write, and my motivation to write has been that as an actor, I want to write the parts that I want to play
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to keep complaining that I don't get good parts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so inspiring. I felt like I wish I could also write parts for myself, and I don't have that kind of skill. I can only improvise my lines as an actor and come up with things, but not an entire script. I was so impressed and inspired, and I really wanted this to work out for him because we're also really good friends. And cut to 2021, he tells me that, listen, I finally it's finally happening. Dude is happening. It's a detective show. Dude is a detective, and it's also an ode to mothers. And he's done it so beautifully. And handling these three major departments, these three major roles to play: writer, director, and actor. I think he's done a great job at it. And just to be a part of it was so overwhelming. And watching him direct on set, it was really sweet. For it to finally happen and his dream come true.
What was it like for you acting opposite of him? Because he seems very different from what we typically see in web series and just in general with web content. Like he's more
Uh-huh.
grounded, like kind of like Nawazuddin. Like he's more like Ryan Gosling in a way, as opposed to this big
Yeah,
performance.
I guess like when
Right.
on web stuff, there's especially with sketches, there's always this thing to like it's bigger than what you would normally
Right,
see
right.
in like a
Right.
movie, and his acting style is
Not so
very
subtle.
yeah, it's very subtle.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I of course I love him as an actor. I love what he does, and I'm always a fan of actors who sort of underplay it and they're so cool about it and so effortless. And he does that. And as a co-actor, he's amazing because um, we have this understanding by now. We've done so much work together. We've played siblings, we've played love interests, we've played these characters who are just trying to chat and fall in love and whatever.
Hmm.
So we've played different kind of characters together, and especially in Dude, it's totally different.
Right.
We have this understanding where sometimes we read a scene and we see ki, as actors we can bring a lot to it. So without even the writer and the director coming for the reading and the workshop, I mean, before they come for it, we prepare things ourselves.
Hmm.
We sort of come up with stuff. In fact, there's a scene in Wrong Number, the Jenga scene, Wrong Number season two.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of discussed it ourselves, and we didn't read it with the director. We just called him and we said, listen, let's perform it for you. You see what we do. If you like it, you keep it. I mean, whatever you don't like, we'll not use it.
Right.
And he quite liked it, most of it, and he kept it as it is. So I feel that it's great working with Ambrish always. And sometimes when I'm not really happy with the script and I'm on board because of other reasons, I sometimes text him, do you want to just go with it, or do you want to take some time and sit with it and work on it? And he's like, listen, we'll work on it. Chill. You're not going to just do it. So that's great. Working with him always.
That's really cool. Is it ever weird when you're like, okay, so you play brother and sister,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
and then the next time you're playing a romantic thing, is it feel like, ooh, this is kind of wrong?
If it was someone who was actually a romantic interest,
Yeah,
it would have been weird playing siblings in real life.
yeah,
I mean, if it was a real crush or a romantic partner, it would be weird. But because we are such good friends, we get along as co-actors also. Fortunately, there's no such issue with him. I didn't feel weird, and he's the only actor who's played a sibling and a love interest as well.
right.
So I think it's pretty chill. It's pretty okay. We are both okay at our jobs, so we've managed to do it.
Amaya says, Apoorva, Aurora, voot, voot. just,
Yay.
just cheering you on. Mahesh CV says, ask Apoorva about social media trials, how she deals with online harassment.
Do you ever have to deal with online harassment? Yeah.
Yes, I do a lot of times. So I just have this thing that this woman I met for a rehearsal, she told me, I take screenshots of lewd messages and just post it on my story, and I realized, yeah, that is great. That's a great thing to do, because these people think they're anonymous, they're going to get away with it. Let's show them that they can't. And I started posting it, and like giving witty replies so people stay entertained also. And 70% of it stopped, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
Only the fake accounts and the whatever people make accounts, stalker accounts or whatever they call it, the troll accounts, were still there. But the real ones, the real people had stopped doing this, and I was really glad. In fact, and then it stopped, and then it started again, and I got more followers, and it started again, and they were probably not aware of this thing that I used to do. And I hate to say that you have to develop a thick skin. Why? I mean, why can't people just be kind to you? Just
Yeah.
because you are a public figure and your work is up for public consumption and your social media is out there, doesn't mean that people can get away with anything.
Right.
And I am kind of sick of it. I do have a thick skin in general, but that doesn't mean that I have to take this. So yeah, it's pretty sad. I try to deal with it. In fact, since it was Women's Day, and I was thinking about all these things, and all these messages that I had been getting, and I was shooting. I had a photo shoot with this friend, and I just told her, let's just take a picture of me showing my middle finger with a smile to these trolls. And we did, and the picture came out great. I look nice in it. So I posted it with all the mean comments that I've gotten about my weight, about my body, about being called really bad names, or about my work. So, or like really negative, mean feedback. So I just put all of that together and put that with the picture, and that's my reply to all the trolls.
I love it.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. We have another question here from the super chats. Is
Sorry if my answers are too long. Please tell me. I tend to talk a lot.
Not at all.
if you're able to hang out, we're cool with the long answers. It's just it gets nerve wracking. No, I had told my audience that I get nervous with long answers if it's an interview with a very constrained time.
Yeah, like we've had some where they've literally been like, and it's usually when it's like through a manager or something, and they've been like, you have 12 minutes with them. And we're like, how are we going to have a conversation?
Yeah.
And then they start giving long answers, and then Jabby's there just like sweating. Just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I have so many questions.
Yeah. Sanchit
No, you
Kanwar
have
says,
time.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Sanchit Kanwar says, she has worked with Diljit Dosanjh. Ask, please. That's it. That was the
That's
question.
it.
I
don't know asking what, but like.
So you haven't worked with Diljit Dosanjh. You
I have.
Oh, you have?
What
Okay.
was that like?
I have. Oh, it was amazing. So I think my entire social media following knows about it now. I have a big crush on him.
Oh, okay.
And-
That's what
and
that
it-
face
it-
was. I was so confused for a second. I'm like, what was that face like she's making? Did she not work with him and people are confusing her with someone else?
It was just I'm so glad this person asked this question.
Okay.
Whoever you are, God bless you. My entire social media people who really follow me and they see my stories, they know
Mm-hmm.
Ki bhai, I mean, sorry, I just keep adding these Hindi words.
It's okay.
And there's this problem with people who live in Mumbai, the way they mix Hindi and English.
Yeah.
So,
It's English.
so
It's English.
I was all of 17 when I did a Punjabi film with him, and my Punjabi wasn't as fluent, and the kind of Punjabi that they speak where I come from in Delhi is different. It's very much like Hindi, and the kind of Punjabi they speak in Punjab is very difficult for people like me at that age to understand, and I was very new. So, and when you're kind of nervous and it's a new setting, you tend to speak in a language that you're comfortable in. So I was comfortable in Hindi and English, and he was comfortable in Punjabi. And it was like love at first sight for me. The director introduced me to him on the first day of shoot, and he probably didn't even bother. He was just nice to me. He's like, "Hey, hi, Apoorva," and he just went on to fix his prop, and I was just there. Ki, Apoorva, you're done. You are done. You found yourself a husband, even if it's just imaginary. And cut to 5-10 minutes later, the DOP on that shoot had worked with me on my first film. His name was Anshul, and Anshul sir apparently, I mean, probably just told Diljit that she's a kid, she's in school, and I'm just like daydreaming about Diljit, and he walks up to me on set and he said, "Are you in school?" in his language, and I said, "Yeah," and I'm like, oh, all my dreams came crashing.
Oh no.
But I've had a crush on him for 7 years. I think it's not a crush anymore. It's my true love. I'm just exaggerating this, but this was a fun story for me. It's fun. It's a fun party story where I tell people that how I fell in love with him at first sight, and he just asked me, "Are you in school?" So yeah.
Well, we're interviewing him next, so I'll just let him know. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I'm glad you told me that. My heart rate just shot up.
I'm just messing around. Anubhuti Dahwan says, "What was her first audition like? How did she manage studies with acting?" This kind of question has come up a couple times in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first audition was fun. I like I told you, I went to this acting theater school called National School of Drama in Delhi,
Okay.
and I must have performed somewhere. I think I performed Tom Sawyer, and somebody probably who was looking for actors my age saw that play, and they called me for an audition. And I really thought that it's somebody from my theater class who's messing with me, and I was this really introvert, a quiet nerd kid, and I just thought they're messing with me. So I gave the phone to my parents, and they handled it, and they said it looks like a legit audition. So I spoke to this person who would brief me, and there was this film called Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani that had just released, and it had Katrina Kaif and Ranveer Kapoor in it. So the character's name is Jenny in that film. And the film that they were auditioning me for, the lead character was also called Jenny. So that person probably got confused. He was the casting coordinator, not the casting director. He got confused and he told me, "Listen, you're going to be playing Katrina Kaif's younger self in the film. So just dress like her." And I said, "Oh, okay. So I have to look like Katrina Kaif. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but let's try." So I had my bangs fixed and I had my hair curled and I put on that like shiny makeup, and that's not appropriate for an actor who's supposed to play a kid's part, right? But I didn't know about it. So I just dressed like her and went there, and they were just disappointed. And they just looked at me, "Where are you coming from? You're supposed to play 13. This is not 13. And I was just heartbroken. I'm like, shit, I made a mistake, and this person just misguided me. But fortunately, they saw me perform and they liked it, and they felt that I fit the part. And then they auditioned me a couple of times, and the director met me, and that's how I got my first film, which is called Bubblegum. And that is the story of my first audition. I hope I didn't bore anybody.
No.
That's just kind of awful that, like, someone just told you the wrong information. And it's like
it happens more often than you
that.
think.
I mean,
though.
that's happened to me as well, and I just remember like the sinking feeling in your heart where you're like, I am not dressed correctly for this at all.
Yeah.
And what do I do now?
Yeah. I did a video game audition like a year ago, and it was for a huge video game, and I'm contractually obligated not to say what it is, but
okay,
it's a character in Florida who's like got Cuban heritage, and I was like, I don't have this accent, and my agent was like, you don't need it. Casting director's like, you don't need it. I'm like, cool, I can just do American. Awesome. I get up there and I start doing the stuff, and the director's like, can you do a Cuban accent? I'm like, oh, fuck. Sure, I'll try. And it's like horrible, of course. Like it's just not
I
coming
mean,
out.
you're not prepared for it.
No,
Yeah.
because it's like that's not what was going on.
So
That's not how. Yeah,
sad.
it's frustrating. A lot of people want to know about. So this is from Abhijit specifically. But a lot of people want to know about your experience with Bhuvan Bam.
Oh, he's the sweetest person to work with. What a gentleman. I only have nice things to say about him. He was very, very considerate on that set, and even his team is great to talk to. Like when Bhuvan is busy, they are there. And in fact, we were both getting ready one morning, one of the shoot days. We were getting ready, and I was playing a song on my phone. It was not loud enough for everyone to hear it, but um, just Bhuvan and I could hear it. And then his team came and they had these big speakers and they just played some other song. And I just got disappointed that I was playing a song and I just looked at him like that. And then he just made them play the song that I was playing on the speaker, which was really sweet. And we had like some really good conversations, and even after that we've kept in touch, and he's a gentleman for real.
I can't seem to get his attention. His manager's attention. He's got my subtitle maker. He likes my reaction videos, but I can't seem to get his attention to do something like this with him, and I don't know why.
Okay.
We're like,
So,
come on.
if you ever talk to him again, you gotta let him know. Like you gotta go live
I
with
will.
Jabby.
For sure, for sure,
and
for
and then
sure.
and then I'll pitch him, Jabby Romance season 3, where he's the love interest of Jabby.
And then Jabby and
It'll,
Apoorva are probably
yeah,
fighting over
yeah,
him because he's
exactly,
so amazing.
exactly.
That'll be great.
It'll be
Great
like
plot twist.
it'll be like The Notebook, but weirder. So this is from this is from Bhavika Azrani. Can you ask Apoorva D that how was her first audition? Oh, we just went over this.
We did
Oh,
that.
well,
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
different
yeah.
version of it. Is because he wants to know
Okay.
specifically about like how it was for you as an introvert going into that first audition.
Yeah, like having to audition, I guess. Yeah.
Like, did that? Yeah, because
Huh.
yeah, because you mentioned that earlier on. Like, I mean, I feel like it's just gonna be the same answer again. So if you don't want to answer it, it's cool. But I just
No,
wanted
no,
to,
I
yeah.
can, I can for
Okay.
sure. I mean, being an introvert, since they've mentioned it, I can also talk about my school life and make people aware of that as well.
Yeah.
Being an introvert at that age, you see people, and you're not your own person. Then you're still growing up, you're still coming of age, and you don't know it's okay to be who you are. You're
Mhm.
not For most people, that sort of self-love comes with age, with experience. So I obviously used to look at people and feel like people my age and feel, oh, it's so easy for them to make friends. It's so easy for them to just approach a teacher and tell them that you've not marked my assignment correctly. It's so easy for them to do these things. Why can't I do it?
Mhm.
So I would try a lot, for sure. I would try to be like them. I would try to be a part of those groups and do whatever they used to do. There was this whole trend of having those bangs, and I wanted my mom to cut my bangs as well because all the cool kids had it. And so yeah, I tried a lot. So on the outside, you would see this smiling cute little girl just being cute and talking to people, but inside I would be shivering, okay, or shivering, or not wanting to talk to anybody, or not wanting to engage in a social situation. So yeah, that's how it was. And then as I grew up, I realized it's okay to want that kind of space around me, and it's okay to be selectively outgoing and social. But yeah, back then it was really just putting up a show and just
Right.
trying to be like other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Um. So earlier we established that you worked with Akshay Kumar in Oh My God, but you worked with him a second time. So
Yeah.
were you nervous the second time you met him, or were you like just chill, like, hey, what's up, Akshay?
um I mean, he was really chill.
Yeah.
And at the second time I met him, in fact, I had a better time with him, and the experiences that I shared with you were from the second time, because in the first film I just had one shot with him.
Right.
So this time I was his sister, and I was slightly older, And I wanted to, like, I was looking for parts to play where I would be the lead, and here I was just like a secondary character. So I wanted to like just be at my best behavior, look my best, and be my funny, witty self. And by then I had gained some sort of confidence in life that whatever jokes, whatever improvisations come to your mind, you use it, you say it, and the director will keep it or not keep it. It's up to them, but just go with it.
Right.
So I had like a whole scene with him where I had no lines, or probably just one or two lines, and he said something, I said something back, then he said something, and it just kept going on and on. It was a fun experience. He made me feel really comfortable. He treated me like a child, of course, and he was very, very sweet. So the director didn't end up keeping the improvisations, but it was great fun just performing that with him, and it made me feel good about myself.
Could you get a hold of those takes for yourself, for your own like private collection?
That's a great idea. Why didn't I think of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just sit at the production's office and like the whole day and be like, I'm not leaving until you give me those takes.
As a YouTuber, you have to think of these things all the time. Like, more content.
Where's the content?
Yeah. On the note of nervousness, how did your family feel? I imagine I already know the answer to this after everything you've said, but I'm going to ask anyway because I wrote it down. How did your family feel about College Romance Season 2? Because it's exploring stuff that's definitely not conservative,
Yeah.
Right.
And so how did your family feel about, how did you feel going into that content, that material?
I mean, it was important for me to start doing web shows, and I had just done Gangstars when it came to web, and my father is really aware of all these things, and he knew that web is the future, and he was okay with me getting into this. And if that means using a certain kind of language on screen or smoking on screen, it's fine. I mean, as a parent, I'm sure he feels a little weird sometimes watching it, but he's fine with it. My mom's also fine with it. In fact, since we were shooting in Delhi, I'm on the outskirts of Delhi, my mom was with me just to look after me and make sure I'm safe. And she was on set. I mean, of course, not for the scenes, but most of the scenes she was there. And they're okay with these things. But there's extended family that's not okay with it. And I have great fun just messing with them. I have a great time messing with them. If they are watching this, just go to my last post on Instagram and see it. And that's for you guys, if you have a problem. Because one of my uncles just saw that, and he texted my mom. And mom is this really emotional person. Texted my mom, she could have done something better with her life. What is this? What is this and that? And my mom told him, "ठीक है." I mean, it's just her job she's doing, and she really just meant that for her, we don't care about you. Your opinion does not matter to us. You don't pay our bills. She pays her own bills, and this is her choice. But she didn't really say it because she's not that kind of a person. But my father dealt with it really well, and he just gave it back to him. And yeah, now people in the extended family have just stopped bothering us, and they probably just gossip about these things. Look at what Apoorva is doing, and I just mess with them all the time.
That's cool that you have that kind of attitude about it.
Yeah.
I can imagine
I
that.
try to. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Well, all I was gonna say was I can imagine that anyone else in that position could feel like shy or embarrassed about it and like retreat into their shell about it. But you're like no, and you're wearing it on your chest like very proud, and I think that's really cool because I think that takes a certain kind of person with a certain degree of courage to come forward like that with that with that kind of attitude. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I just to the super chatters, I'm just getting through the questions slowly. So please be patient. I apologize that it's taking a while.
That's okay.
I'm enjoying the long answers.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just letting the super chatters know.
We're
getting through all the questions.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about something, and if you don't want to answer it, that's okay.
Okay.
There is a kissing scene in College Romance Season 2.
Right.
Between you and Gagan.
Yeah.
And looking at it, I'm like, that didn't look like a real kissing scene.
Yeah, the angle.
And I wanted to know if that was you, or if that was Gagan, or if that was some other factor. Because there's kissing in the show.
Right. So I mean, agreeing to do a show and agreeing to go on a set was a big decision for me after Wrong Number, because Wrong Number was a smaller set. It was in a city that I I can always come back home and just clean myself up.
Mm-hmm.
But agreeing to do a shoot in Faridabad, where I have to go back to a hotel, it was a big decision. And when I read the script, I spoke to the director and I told him, sir, there's a pandemic going on. Kissing is not really the best of things we can do right now. And not just that, it's sort of not right for people who see it also. And they might feel, oh, now there's no corona, there's no COVID happening, so let's just go. I mean, people do that already, and I don't want to be the one to motivate them to sort of be careless about it.
Mm-hmm.
And also I want to be safe myself.
Right.
So I said no for that, and they were okay with it, and they understood it, and they said, we'll shoot it, you don't really have to kiss, you just have to pretend like you're kissing. And I think we just made a mistake there with the angle a little bit. So,
No,
yeah,
I think most people wouldn't see it.
I think it was
Yeah.
you definitely buy it as a kiss because movie says so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just the angle, it was like, but it could not.
it's giving it away.
It could not be a
But I
kiss.
mean, Achara and I have both worked on sets, and so it's like, it's like I know what it's like to do a fake kissing scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could see it, it's like, but I think most people wouldn't know that.
Yeah, right.
wha-
Also, Gagan and I get really awkward now that we are such good friends. It's really awkward for us. It's so awkward for us. It's like we're family, we're siblings, and no. Guys, okay, people just think that Gagan and I are siblings. I was joking about this, guys. Please don't start DMing me again and asking if I kissed my brother. That is so weird.
That's super weird.
Well, Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal are gonna star in a romantic comedy together.
Is that serious?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay,
I'm
I was
joking.
like,
That would be weird.
That's
Adi-
super weird.
Aditi Patil, it says a big fan of Apoorva. How did she prepare for the character of Naira? How am I supposed to say that?
Naira.
Naira.
Isn't it Naira?
Naira.
It's
Was she
Naira.
comfortable?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. And was she comfortable using the slang Delhi lingo?
Mm.
I was very comfortable. Again, it's just my job.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of things that people in Delhi, this is how people in Delhi talk. I am from Delhi, and it's pretty normal for people to say these words, and they don't mean anything out of it. And coming to the preparation, the first thing right before season 1 that I had to do and I wanted to do was get to know Trippy and Karan. Get comfortable with them, because not being comfortable with Gagan would have been okay with Bagga's character, because the characters are just meeting and they're just falling in love.
Mhm.
But these three are really tight and they have a group and they're like a thing in college, Karan, Naira, Trippy. So my first thing was to get to know them. If not that, at least get comfortable and like chill with them. And of course we had workshops with the director and the writers, and they had different things to tell me. Everybody had different things. There were 2 writers, there was a creative director, there was a director. All of them had different things and sort of just helped me build Naira's character and give it layers, and not just be a typical tomboy that wears those check shirts and shorts and singlets. And yeah, it did help me give it those dimensions, that she's not just your tomboy next door. She is much more than that. So that's how I sort of prepared for it.
I have a question, and again, this is another one that you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it's just my own. It's my own curiosity. We noticed, and this is kind of a spoiler for College Romance season 2. Hira Ashar didn't come back.
Okay. I think what I've been told is that the writers were new and they decided to cut that character out. And I feel that it's also probably because she was in the US. I think I was not really in touch with her that much.
Okay.
And maybe getting her to travel would have been a task, and that would have been an added stress and a little bit of a safety risk. I think that could be the reason. Or maybe just the writers decided that they wanted to cut that character out and add the twins instead of her.
Right.
And give more girlfriends to Trippy.
Yeah.
Maybe Manjot did something and said, I want more girls to be paired opposite me.
Depeche,
No, no, I'm kidding.
Depeche Mode super chatted. He goes, "Hey, Jabara, Apoorva's golly scene in College Romance was best, and it became a meme to remember. Apoorva, you look very beautiful. Mulgi Sundar Ahe."
Did we say that right?
Thanks. I think he's talking Marathi. I understand a little bit of Marathi.
Well, Sundar means
Sundar
beautiful,
Ahe.
so right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um, let's see. Mayur Patel says, "I would definitely simp for a sweet girl like her."
Aw.
So the simping thing kept going on for a while in the chat, and when you started talking about Diljit, people were like, "Now she's simping."
I am simping for real. It's been
Yeah.
7 years.
And Kriti Sanon says, "Jabby, please
Kriti
ask."
Sanon Canadian Army Hub. That's the full, because Kriti Sanon is an actress, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, that's not their name.
And so Kriti Sanon says, "Jabby, please ask when we can see her and Tiger Shroff."
Is that
Ooh, I would
happening?
love to do a film with him.
Will
Not
that
really.
happen?
I don't know. Whoever this is, please pray. If you're religious, please pray for me. If I get this movie with him where I'm this warrior princess and he's the guy I save.
Oh, I want to.
And then we
I would
kill
see
the
that.
Yeah, and then Jabby kind of helps me kill the bad guys.
Oh yes, I'm into
He's
it.
my partner.
You know who
And
else?
you're my wingman also. You set me up with Tiger Shroff in the film.
You know who else would be really into that is Tiger Shroff.
Uh-huh.
He would no, seriously, he would be so into it because I floated stuff by him a little bit. He's like, "Totally, we got to work together someday." I'm like, "Oh my god." Like,
Jabby is a Tiger Shroff simp.
yes, I'm definitely the Tiger Shroff simp. But
Oh.
yeah, so I got to have you met him?
Not really, no.
Okay. When we interviewed him, it was the weirdest experience because I go into every single interview, including this one. I go into every single interview extremely nervous at the beginning. Like, okay, it's gonna happen now. And then when we spoke to him, he has the most calming presence I've ever experienced.
He's like chill times 1,000.
He's
It's like,
super
ooh.
chill, and it's like
Wow.
it's the last thing you could possibly expect from someone who's kicking butts on screen. You know, like I'm expecting more intensity, and he's just super nice, super humble, super compliment. He's like he compliments you a lot. Like he makes you feel good about yourself. He's just a warm presence. So
Oh, that's so adorable.
yeah, and so like his music, he sings about being
Like a Casanova.
a Casanova,
Or whatever.
and I'm like, that's not him.
Who you trying to fool,
Yeah,
Tiger?
exactly. So Reg Rocks from the Super Chats goes, "Well, hello there. Wow, if this live stream had been scheduled during daytime, most of guys would have bunked their Zoom classes just to see their school crush. Big fan."
Aw,
So
Oh.
that's
Yeah.
sweet. But
Yeah.
like, don't bunk your classes, guys.
Yeah, guys. It's
uh,
very important to study.
Mahesh,
Otherwise, you become an actor like me.
seems like you're doing all right. Mahesh CV says, "Jabby, ask Apoorva what makes her motivated throughout her life and acting career. P.S. I love her personality."
Thank you. What keeps me motivated? I really don't know. I just always wanted to get into performing arts. It was either dance or acting for me. And now, as earlier, it was the sort of motivation that I had was okay. Need to make sure I get work, make sure I don't get called back to Delhi, make sure that I don't have to go to school. Even though I was studying, guys, I am still studying, but I don't have to go to school. And that was that. And now as I'm growing up, watching more stuff, understanding more stuff, having read the books that I read, I feel that it's my love for stories and being able to tell stories and being able to, come up with things to bring to a character, to add to a character. That is what motivates me. I enjoy it so much. I get so happy when I improvise or I suggest and it gets approved and they use it. I feel so good. So I might also at some point in the future write something, but I don't see that happening very soon. But otherwise, as an actor, this sort of keeps me going, being able to just come up with stuff and stir up some what do you call it, for the lack of a better word, some khichdi. So yeah,
That's the word I was thinking of. I was thinking of khichdi.
Yeah, good word.
That's the word This is my question now. What is Glam Up and Cadbury Perk?
Oh, okay. So these are two brands that I endorse. Not endorse. I mean, that would be a big thing if I get to endorse brands. But I, apart from acting, I did a little bit of modeling as well. So I did these TV ads that I obviously had to audition for, and they just did well. They were just well-made films, and people just liked me in them. And then I got really popular. So they would not know me as me, but they would just see me. Hey, I've seen you on TV, and yeah, you have. So yeah.
A lot of people like obviously are like crushing on you. What's it like for you, like if you're comfortable talking about it, what's it like for you when it comes to dating? Because like when you see like in Hollywood, celebrities are often dating other celebrities, with the exception of something like
Right.
with the exception of Julia Roberts, she dated like a cameraman or something like that.
Right. I mean, every now and then I
Every
think you
yeah,
get that, but
every
yeah.
now and then, yeah, every once in a while you see someone dating a normie. Right? But usually you see celebrities dating celebrities. In my opinion, my theory was that it's like there's the only people who can really understand you, because you can only be certain that they're probably looking at you for you, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to seeing like the glam and the fame. So what's it like for you, like when it comes to courtship?
So, a lot of people don't believe this, but I don't get asked out a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So I have a friend who
What?
tells me that you are a little intimidating, and I feel like, oh, that's great that I end up intimidating boys. That's so cool. That's so badass. But that's not how I am. I'm really open and really like chill about things. So I don't get asked out a lot. And
I don't believe that.
yeah.
I don't believe that. I
I'm being very honest. If I did, I would boast about it all the time.
I bet
I
if
would
you
really
open,
boast about
I
it.
bet if you open your Instagram right now, there's like at least ten
Uh-huh.
thousand marriage proposals in.
Yeah.
Not like people that I don't know. I'm talking about people I know, and would be possible for us to date, those kind of people.
Okay.
So I don't get asked out a lot. And whatever the reason may be, it's so sad. I would like to, you know,
Yeah.
be this girl who has a long list of boys
Calling.
simping after her.
So did you said
Yeah.
you said you're currently studying right now. Are you taking classes in person?
Not really, not really. So I never actually did go to college. It was correspondence, and I was homeschooled from 10th grade.
Mm.
So I was used to that. I was used to like making my own notes and studying myself and studying by myself. And then graduation happened. I did that by myself. And then I decided it's fun. It's not that bad. I mean,
Mhm.
now that graduation is done, I have a degree. I can chill. I can just do this for fun now. I don't need it for a backup.
Mm.
So I am doing my master's just for fun.
What
I
are you
have to just
studying?
study at home. I'm studying psychology,
Oh,
and
cool.
that's something that interests me since about, I think, 12th grade. And I would like to someday get into it professionally also. Who knows?
Wow.
I would have been so disappointed if you're like, I'm a theater major. Like
No, I
after
think
all that.
it's super cool that you say that. It's funny as well because I I had also been interested in psychology. If I hadn't like went on and studied acting, I probably would have done
Mhm.
psychology. I told my therapist that, and she's like, "Well, believe it or not, a lot of therapists here in LA also used to be actors." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised." I feel like there's a very strong correlation between an interest in acting and psychology because they kind of overlap.
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because it's about action and reaction and reading people's faces and things that they are saying, and you tend to understand people better,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the therapy side of psychology. So yeah, it makes sense.
If you
Makes a lot of sense.
if you do your last semester or whatever of school in person, I guarantee you're not gonna have a problem.
Oh, with
Yeah, that would
dates?
be. Oh, I could actually do that.
Yeah. You're gonna need a bat. It's like stop it. Whack, whack.
Stay
Uh,
away.
We're gonna be like flies. You just need that fly catcher thing.
Oh,
Uh,
the bat.
yeah. So Kamal Shashank says, no bigger simp in the good sense than Jabby than when there's a female interviewee. Wipe your chin, dude. We can literally see the saliva rolling. So,
Is that true?
no, it's just messing around. I'm just leaning in. So, Dr. Drake Ramore again has a question. When you feel low key or feel left out, how do you come out of that feeling? Because you seem to be a person with very positive vibes.
Um, Thank you, first of all, Drake. But
Whoever you really are.
it's difficult. Yeah, whoever you really are. It's a little difficult sometimes. I can't always socialize. I can't always get myself to get comfortable and have fun. I mean, I know I'm fun to be with. I can talk to people. I can enjoy. But if there's a party happening and I'm just not in the zone, I can't force myself into it. I just sit there and be like, and it's not like I'm not enjoying it. I'm listening to people. I'm listening to those conversations. My eyes and ears are everywhere, but it just doesn't look like I'm having fun. So I think that's what his question was, if I'm feeling left out. So yeah, I just can't force myself to be a part of a group and pretend to have fun.
Right. You don't play video games, right?
Not really.
Okay, cool. No, someone in the chats was like, "Where's that kid? Where's that guy who you're supposed to set her up with? That guy who's always asking to go out with someone. The guy who lives in Canada, I think. Or I forget where. Who's like, I want a girl who plays video games.
Oh,
and,
no, it's Kamal.
oh, it's Kamal. Oh,
That's
yeah.
Kamal Shashank.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
right. Kamal, he's here in the chat, but like, you don't play video games, so you're not the one.
You're not the one. We can't set you up.
I could have set you up, Kamal.
He's an amazing game developer, super talented,
Yeah,
but
he's-
he's specifically looking for a girl gamer.
Yeah,
so.
he's the one who told me to wipe my chin. Shashank Singh says, becoming an actor at an impressionable age, did you ever bring any character's personality home with you?
Oh.
Did it ever prove to be good or a bad thing?
I did actually once or twice in my teens and my early 20s. It happens. I mean, you just have to make sure that you bring the good things home and not like the negative ones. And you have to consciously work on that. Yeah, so there was this South Indian film that I did, and the character was so beautiful. She was so good, and I got really attached. I loved working there and enjoyed the whole atmosphere. So it was fun working on it, fun thinking about it all day while we were shooting. But towards the end of
Oh, no.
our
Oh, no.
shoot,
there you are.
Okay, there you are. So you
You're
left.
oh, I'm back.
You went for a
Sorry,
sec.
it was
Okay.
my battery.
Okay.
So it was fun shooting that, and towards the end of it, I kind of got really attached to her. And just spoiler alert, the character that I play, doesn't get the guy, and she ends up marrying someone else. So I actually had tears in my eyes even when the camera is not on my face, and I got really attached. And I just kept telling my director, why can't she get the guy? Please let her get the guy. Please let Charlata marry this character, please. And he would just laugh about it, obviously. And then when I came home, it felt like I've had a big breakup. And that's when I kind of realized, wow, I'm really, really attached to this character. So that was one of the instances. But most of the times I've always had good things. I've taken good things away from characters.
Will your battery be okay with your phone?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay. What was your question? Did you have one?
Oh, no, I
Okay. The fact that this stream has 1.3K likes and only 11 dislikes tells how much people fangirl over her. Absolutely love Rohan Apu on screen. That's from Sri Teja.
Oh,
That's very sweet.
thank you.
And then Niraj asks, was Bubblegum completely shot in Jamshedpur?
Yes, not completely, but most part of it was shot in Jamshedpur, and it wouldn't have been wise to shoot an entire film and spend those extra days and money in like shooting outdoors. I think that's what the producers thought. So some part of it was shot in Mumbai. Some of the interior bit and some of the patchwork was done here.
This is someone from the regular chats. Dynamo Silver says, you can say, this is in reference to when you're like, am I boring you guys with my long answers? So Dynamo responded to that with a very mean answer. He says, you can say anything. We're not going to get bored of hearing you.
Okay. I mean, it would have been nicer if you just said, if we enjoy listening to you talk, you're smart, but okay.
Yeah.
Cool, Dynamo, bro.
He's like, you can say anything. I'll just listen to you all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How sweet.
he's simping in the nicest of ways.
Yeah, right.
William Hankins, hi Javi. Please ask her which Marvel superhero she likes.
Oh my God. I am a big Black Widow fan. I once had a dream that I was Black Widow, and I was fighting the bad guys. That big of a Scarlett Johansson fan. And the next would be Black Panther.
I had a
for
feeling
sure.
you were going to say Black Panther. I don't know. I was kind of like, she's going to say Black Panther. Clearly.
It's like the Desi boy of Marvel. So I think that's why, and I'm the Desi girl
Yeah.
here. So I'm like a Desi person. So I feel like Desi means like I'm sure you know the word by now.
Yeah.
Ha, so
You
he's
know the word, right?
Sorry, I was looking at the question because there's a very interesting
That's
question came
okay.
up. There was a very interesting
That's
question
okay.
that came up that I wanted to ask you because it
Okay.
ties into
Ha,
what we talked about
sure.
earlier.
Okay.
Because Ashutosh says, "Do you want to play more gritty characters like Claire Underwood, Skylar White, etc.? Marvel characters like Okoye, Black Widow, etc." It's like it's tying into what we're
Yeah,
talking about now.
totally.
But the Claire Underwood one is the one that really popped out at me because I watched that show,
House
House
of
of Cards,
Cards.
and I'm like, oh my god, that would be really interesting to see you play that kind of role. Like, very, I mean, because you have confidence already, but it's like
Mhm.
it would be very different coming from you to play that kind of individual, you know?
Yeah, also because, like you said, you have such a sweet-looking external, demeanor that to play someone like a character like that, it would seem like it's far from you,
Yeah.
but I think you could do
Right.
it.
Oh, I've not seen House of Cards, but talking about this, I have a friend who is a filmmaker, and we talk about casting a lot. We talk about script writing and everything. And he told me that I don't understand people trying to cast a character, I mean, an actor that looks like the character.
Mm.
Casting someone that doesn't look like, a bad guy. If you're casting the villain, someone who looks really sweet and nice, and then they end up doing those bad things. It is quite a surprise, and it's kind of real also that it's not about appearances. It's just about how someone is.
Hmm.
The sweetest looking person could do the meanest thing ever. So I think casting people should really look into that and casting those characters like really challenging ones.
Yeah.
Did you see did you see
Just self promotion.
Yeah. Did you see Ex Machina?
Not really.
I think you'd enjoy that movie. Yeah.
I will for
Yeah.
sure. I'll watch it.
It's more indie and sci-fi, independent and sci-fi. But because of what you just said, I think that you'd actually really enjoy that film. It might give you some inspiration. I don't know.
I will watch it.
Maybe we'll see a Bollywood adaptation. Who knows? But it,
I hope they take me.
yeah. Kunav Pathur asks, is aloo paratha with hummus a good combination? What the heck?
It could be aloo paratha and hummus could be if your aloo paratha ka filling is not that sour. If it's just salty, then it could go with hummus. I don't
is it
know
well
why he
known that
asked me this,
I
but
that's such a random do you make food a lot? Are you known on Instagram for making food? Like I haven't seen that.
not
No,
at
I
all.
think
I
that's
know
just
how to cook.
that's a Kunav question because I think when we had Gagan Aurora on here, he was like, "Uh, is it blasphemy to put olive oil on a paratha or something?" I think that was the question, and Gagan was just like, "No, ghee only, no olive oil, absolutely not."
You know what was interesting about him is he's like, I apologize at the very beginning. He's like, I apologize if my English isn't good, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like that's like me saying apologizing for my English. It's like he has stellar English.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you even talking
Yeah,
about,
he
dude?"
does.
Yeah. Um, Crazy Montri says, hello, beautiful ladies and Jabby. Apoorva, how does it feel to start your career with the living legends like Paresh Rawal and Akshay Kumar?
Like I said, it's amazing because I used to see Mr. Raval on set. He would come in the morning, he would shoot, and then he would go and perform his plays. And later on, he got into politics as well. So that is so good that at that age you would probably just relax and chill, and you've made so much and you've made a name for yourself. You just chill. But he was still hustling, and he's so good at what he does. He would just look at a script once and he would know his line. That was so cool.
Mm,
And he was also the producer of that film.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's quite an inspiration.
By the way, if you ever get tired, just do the Shah Rukh Khan like hand through the hair
Yeah.
thing. I'll be like, that's a good cue.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'll know that you're
cool.
tired.
So
Blink twice if you want us to end the interview.
Yeah. Harjit Singh, how are you guys? Apoorva, would you date someone like Baga in real life?
Ooh.
I am Bagga in real life. If you
Oh.
talk to Gagan, he'll tell you that Apoorva is the lady Bagga in real life. She's this person. I think Gagan knows me well by now, and all of my friends will also agree that I am Bagga. And dating another Bagga will just cause a lot of problem. No, not gonna work. So no, I won't.
Interesting. I feel like I have so many questions about that, but I don't want to like take up too much time on it. So we'll come back to it if there's time. Aditya Srivastava, hi Apoorva, don't worry about mean comments. I can still watch any series or movies if you are in there just standing for hours. I'm happy that you didn't kiss Gagan. LOL, just kidding.
Oh, he's not kidding.
Yeah.
He means it. I know that. I know what that LOL means. I use it a lot. I use just kidding a lot.
Yeah. Tarandeep Singh says, hi Apoorva, you also worked with Dilja. Oh, we covered this already.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to acknowledge Tarandeep Singh. We covered this earlier. If you want to rewind just to the beginning of the chat, you'll see it. This is, you got DVR. Chirag Sharma, Jabby, romantic sketch with Apoorva.
ASOS.
ASOS will be angry. By the way, you're gorgeous, Apoorva.
You got to give her some backstory on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know if you saw it, but ASOS and I did like a random romantic sketch thing.
I'm aware of it. On Filtercopy, right?
No, before that.
No. The reason why
Oh.
I got the Filtercopy thing was because I did a short film. I did like a sort of a short film with her before that, where like
that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm on a Skype date with her. That was it. And
Yeah.
so it's
we
like
did like a little sketch on the channel.
yeah. I'll send it to you, and then you can tell me how bad my
Okay,
acting is.
so after you and I fight for Bhuvan and Tiger,
Yeah.
Assassin I could fight for you. That would be so cool. In that
Okay.
same film.
Dreams are coming true here. That's like College Romance season 2. Faizan Khan. It'll be season 3.
Yeah.
Actually, we watched it with Kristen, and she was like, season 3 should be in Los Angeles.
Right,
And
because
then you
Naira's
get
coming
us
to
involved
the
in it.
States, right? So we were like, we know
Yeah.
why.
And then
'cause-
Jabby dates, Apoorva.
Yeah, and then you have to fight Bugga. Bugga
Yeah.
will come and like kick your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, sure, that's fine.
And then you'll be like, no, but I know Taekwondo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I could pitch it to the team. Good idea.
If you actually come to LA, I'll do it. So I'm happy to participate and like do a fight scene with Gagan. That'd actually be
Yeah, that'd be pretty
fun. You know, with the dogs in between.
Whatever happened to the puppies?
Catch the dogs.
Yeah. I guess that's still a mystery that the mystery hunter will have to hunt someday.
Faizan Khan says, hi Apoorva, I'm a big fan. Love your acting, dancing, singing, ukulele.
You play the ukulele?
skills.
Just a little bit.
And then he goes, what's your favorite food?
Oh my God, I've tried to pick it up. But yes, what's your favorite food?
I like rajma rice. Rajma is, I'm sure you know by now, it's kidney beans and it's cooked in North Indian style, and I love it. My mouth is watering.
Wow, that sounds yummy.
Do you like that Hawaiian rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
On the
Not really
ukulele?
heard it.
What do you play on the ukulele? Would you like to play?
So I listen to a lot of regional music, especially Punjabi music. I don't really listen to Hindi or English that much. Like I know songs, I know a lot of songs, but because I enjoy Punjabi music more, so I tend to play more Punjabi songs.
Okay, I'll send you the song. It's the most famous ukulele song that I'm aware of.
Okay,
like,
for sure.
yeah.
I'll try to learn.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you learned it or just listen to it. I think you'll enjoy it.
It's cute. It's really
a nice
cute.
song. We covered this. Did you say what your favorite food was? I don't know if I heard you.
Yes,
what did you say?
I
was?
did.
It was the kid.
Rajma rice.
Rajma
The kidney
rice.
beans.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that.
Rajma rice.
Abhi, what is it like working in Gangstars with Jagapathy Babu?
Unfortunately, I didn't have any scenes with him, so I didn't really talk to him. But the show was fun for me. The team was great. And they were not like a proper film, like they were not all film people. The director had made a web show called Little Things, and like this first season. So it was a mix of both the Telugu film industry and the web world. So it was pretty cool for me, Gangsters.
Are all the like web stars like a tight group? I feel like all of you guys sort of know each other, right? Like, are you friends with ASOS?
I am.
You know,
Everyone's, I think, no, I am. Like, I kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like a little cute club.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when we hung out. Well, actually, you were in Thailand. when I made my way back to Mumbai before returning to the States, there was a TVF party, and I started seeing all these randos from like different web series stuff. I'm like, oh, I guess y'all just know each other. This is crazy, you know?
I sort of keep my work social circle and my friends separate.
Mhm.
So some of my work people are really good friends, but most of them I just treat as acquaintances, and most of them have been really nice and like really chill about things.
Mhm.
So yeah, there are a few work people that I can call friends, not all of them.
Right.
I don't know about the others. Maybe they're all friends amongst each other, but I tend to, socialize with people from other walks of life as well.
That's interesting.
It's good to keep it
Yeah,
varied.
that keeps you grounded too.
Yeah.
Keeps it real. Archipel
Right.
Ray, Apoorva, I don't have anything new to add that you don't already know, but I am literally smitten by your smile. My heart always skips a beat. Do you ever get tired of these? Like, just the constant barrage of compliments? Like, in in Los Angeles, if that happens, like, to a girl in Los Angeles, she's like, "Oh, whatever," and just like walks on. But it seems like you, like, really take each of these comments, like, to heart in a positive way. That's really cool.
I enjoy this. I enjoy this love, and I also know that the more of this love that I get, the more good roles and good projects it gets
It's
me.
true.
And it's glad that people support me, and then they like whatever releases. They at least give it a watch. Even if they don't like it, they at least watch it because I'm in it. So that is great. So that way it makes me really happy.
And then Shashank Kulkarni says, I loved your acting in Kannada movie Mugulange.
Mugulnage.
Okay,
There we go.
I'm not gonna try. How was your experience working with Golden Star Ganesh?
Golden Star Ganesh.
That's a new one.
So in the South, a lot of actors have this title given
yeah.
to them by
Yeah.
the
I'm
fans.
very aware
So,
of that. It's
you know?
just always interesting which one comes next.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we've got a rocking star.
Yeah.
We've
Challenging
got
star.
Challenging star.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of star
And
do you
his-
get to be? Like, how does that happen?
Okay,
A
before you answer
natural
before you
star?
answer the question about Ganesh, Golden Star, what
Golden
would
Star.
your star be?
Yeah. If you had one.
Never thought of it. I don't think women get these. Honestly, it's so sad.
I think
I
there is
have
one like
one.
lady superstar.
Yeah, I
or
have
something
one for
like that.
myself already picked out.
What's yours?
Happy to be working star, Jabby Kawai.
I would totally steal that.
Yeah. They couldn't hire the other guy, star, Jabby Kawai.
Kawai. I'll take the job, Jabby Kawai.
The cheaper star, Jabby Kawai. The affordable.
Sasta Shah Rukh Khan,
know.
Jabby Kawai.
Swap meet star, Jabby Kawai. I would do something self-deprecating like that, and just to make fun of myself. But
Yeah, I would steal that for sure. Happy to be working.
yeah, it'd be like, but the effect of it would be a long billboard name.
Yeah.
So,
It'd be like,
but anyway, so what was it like working with Golden Star Ganesh?
It was good. He had some really nice things to tell me, and being from that industry and someone who has worked for so many years, he had some really nice things to say and some great inputs. And yeah, it was fun. He was not this. He didn't pretend to be this really senior know-it-all, but he knew a lot of things. Of course, he has experience, so he would just impart his knowledge in a very nice, down-to-earth, humble way. And he's a very good actor. I feel that he's great, and he should all of his movies should do really well because he acts well, and it's so subtle and so real. And it was fun acting with him because I enjoy that kind of acting more than the out there over the top acting. So I really enjoyed that sort of give and take in our scenes. So yeah, huge respect.
Then Natika Bala says Jabby always wanted two women fighting for him. Just making fun of me.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I'd love to see a show where two women are fighting for you. Kunal Moli says, Jabby, please ask Achara. I'm not going to read that out loud. I don't know if that's a bad word or not. You want to do it?
no, I mean it's a question.
Yeah.
He's talking about making something, but I don't know what exactly. He says Enna Sona Kyun Rabne Banaya. So
It's okay. It's a song.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
safe.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
This means Enna Sona Kyu Rab ne banaya means why did God make you so beautiful?
Oh, I think we
Oh,
kind of
Oh, I mean,
sort
even
of
I would
learned.
like to ask you.
that's very nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I also wanted to. I kind of feel that you guys by now are really like your Hindi must have gotten really better watching all this content, and you probably know words, and probably like people come on your show and they try to teach you Hindi words.
Mhm.
So I wanted to teach you Punjabi words and
Oh,
not bad words.
okay.
I
Yes,
really
yes,
wanted
yes.
you to. If you end up interviewing someone who's from Punjab and you know that they
Mhm.
speak Punjabi, you can just greet them with Sat Sri Akal.
Sastriyaka.
Sastriyakal.
Sat Sri
Sastriyaka.
Akal.
Sastriyakar.
It's
Sastriyakal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Satriyakal.
Ki hal chal
Kya chal.
Ki
means how are you
halcha.
doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to do
Just
like
for fun.
do you want to do a separate thing sometime where you just teach us you just throw us Punjabi words to learn?
For sure.
Okay. Okay.
Because we're learning Hindi right now. We've been doing
Oh,
it
great.
with some friends on live stream, and it actually what you were saying when we were watching your shows this weekend, I was like, oh, Jabby, it's so cool. I'm starting to like pick up even more words. Even before reading the subtitles, or like I'm kind of looking at the subtitles sometimes and going, you didn't really subtitle that
That's the
right.
worst. Actually, that's the worst. That's the worst feeling is like, because, like, I find it a little distracting when you know certain Hindi words, actually, because it's like, oh, they didn't say that right. They didn't do that right. And then it's like, it sort of pulls me out of the show just a little bit. We were watching College
Right.
Romance. They were watching College Romance, and I was like, I recognize that word. And I look for it in the subtitle. I'm like, I don't see it there. And then I missed what was happening in the context of the show. For me, it's a distraction more than anything. Well, I just had a question here. We already answered it, but I wanted to acknowledge it. Anna Bahat says, "Apoorva, you've worked with Akshay Kumar twice. Was the experience different the second time than the first time?" We answered that earlier, just so you know, if you want to DVR back, Anna. And then Danish Khan says, "Jabby and Achar, thank you so much that I can tell something to my only crush, Apoorva. I wish if you could just call my name. Big fan." Danish Khan.
Hi, Danish
Oh,
Khan.
Danish
What's
Khan.
up, bro?
Eh.
I called him bro. Oh my god, I should not have. I'll do a retake.
Okay.
Hey, Danish, what's up? No, bro.
I like that
Nah,
one
bro.
better.
You inadvertently like put him in the friend zone right away, and then you're like, oh damn.
Sorry. Oh, now I know why I don't like get asked out. I'm starting to realize that.
Custom Kandurkar, we just answered that question like literally 3 minutes ago. If you want to DVR back,
Yep.
he asks if you're friends with ASOS. And Dynamo Silver says, ask her which is her favorite character that she played.
There are so many. Kushi, I would say, because
Which one?
Which
even
one?
though
There's
she
like
was,
there's like 12
which
cushies.
one? I think wrong number Kushi,
Okay.
because the Siddhartha Kushi was just your typical again girl next door and who doesn't really do much. But here Kushi had different shades. I feel, even though it was not your typical badass character and the women oriented stuff that I would want to do,
Mhm.
but she was as real as a lot of girls we see. I mean, she had this past where she's all, sarcastic and cool, and she fools the teacher, and she's a certain way with her boyfriend, she's a certain way with her friend, and like she's just so full of life. And then suddenly something happens, and then she's just low all the time. She's this really sad person, and then she has this hope again in life that this new guy comes into her life, and then they become friends and things like that, and there are so many ups and downs. So I feel like that way Kushi is a very beautiful character for me. And yeah.
So Kushi.
Okay.
Kushi it is.
Wikipedia said about Apoorva, this is my question. Wikipedia said about Apoorva Aurora, currently Apoorva is one of the most sought after faces. So, given all the success you've had as an actress and how recognizable you are, there's one question on everyone's mind. How do you feel about reaction videos?
I love them as long as it's just good kind of feedback, not like just positive. It's just
Constructive.
said in a respect. Yeah, it's constructive and it's
Yeah.
respectful. I love it, and I remember your reaction video on one of my videos called School Romance, and I got really excited. Oh my God, this finally done it! I finally made it! Like whoa, like the YouTube queen. I felt like that for a day. So that happened, and then I think you watched Wrong Number season 1, and it wasn't like you didn't really love it so much, and that I was kind of okay with it. Ki, haan, theek hai. I mean, they have their own opinion, and it's cool, and we'll come back with season 2 and impress them, and I hope I did. But then there are some that are just tasteless, and there was one recently that I would really like to talk about. Um, there's this channel called Men's XP, and the reason that I'm just taking names here is that they were disrespectful, and they took my name in a very disrespectful manner, and I think I can give it back to them. So Men's XP they review shows and movies. I hope that's okay on your channel if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
We love drama here.
So
Spill the tea. Spill the tea.
I already addressed it online, but so they do this show with two people, and they talk about shows and movies, and I've not really seen it. I just heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they reviewed College Romance, they didn't like it, which is fine. They had negative things to say, which is also fine. They are entitled to their opinion. They can say whatever they want, and I'm totally cool with that. Just making it clear that it was not the negative review that got to me. What got to me was the way they introduced me on that show. So I have a friend, and I'm really like good friends with him. Like we're acquaintances, you could say. And they introduced me as his old best friend. So this person's old best friend, APOORVA, is also in the show. So I just felt really bad that they are limiting my existence to just being someone's best friend after having a body of work, or just being an individual. I'm an artist who's in the show. You could just be a little more respectful. And I sort of addressed it online, and I got a clarification saying it was just a joke, and the person just kept explaining the joke, which was, I felt, not needed. A simple apology would have been great.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so, you know that the sorry if you felt bad, or sorry but I didn't mean it, doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, those are the kind of videos that I just feel bad about.
Yeah, or like the no offenses. I always get really annoyed when people start a sentence with no offense and then proceed to say something incredibly offensive, and I'm like,
right,
what you meant to offend. So just like stand by the fact that you were gonna offend, or just like don't say it at all because you know it's offensive.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. They know it's offensive and they sort of try to cover it up. It's so wrong.
Yeah. That sucks.
Faizan Khan is asking, and this is a super chat, your Punjabi song covers Diljit Simping, Carefree Dancing are so endearing and lovely. I wish you become extremely successful in life and become a great Bollywood actress. I think you're already
Thank you, Faizan.
I think you're already there, basically doing it, but but that's a positive message there. And Natika Bala says, I can teach you Hindi and Punjabi. I'm Punjaban. So that's Tamina Chara. Demolition 101 in the regular chat says ask APOORVA's skincare routine.
Oh.
Like I wake up. What?
I wish I had one.
You're like hashtag I woke up like this.
Yeah.
Not really. I do have some skin issues every now and then, like a normal person. But I just try to moisturize. I try to eat well and not have too much oil. That doesn't work with my skin. And yeah, moisturizing is really important. That's something that I do regularly, and I'm very particular about it. And use natural ingredients. Please don't use chemical on your face. That's something that I've learned from my mom. Using a cucumber slice on your face works more than getting a face pack done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my skin routine.
Yeah. Also B25.
Oh yeah, B. I was like, I thought you were talking about a B vitamin. I didn't realize you were like, yeah, and B25. That helps. Doesn't help much when you're like 37.
Yeah.
Try to
You're
how
not,
much cucumber can you put on your face?
She's not 37. She's making fun of herself. Strong Punjabi, Jabby, please ask if she has been to the USA or in Canada.
I haven't yet. I would love to, but I haven't.
College Romance Season 3.
I'm telling you.
My character has.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
That was a lot of dogs, by the way.
Yeah. Literally after that episode, I mean, you guys will see in the reaction, but that was like the first thing we talked about was just like
That's a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah, like that's like I love you. Here's a responsibility.
In fact, here's 4.
Hey, you're going away.
Yeah.
There's 4 new friends
Yeah.
to take care of.
Harjit Singh says, Jabby, you didn't like the Baga character. I don't think you have any chance with Apoorva. So, like, you saw the reaction to College Romance Season 1, and I had my complaints about Baga. He called me out on it in our interview, and I was like, I was a little bit embarrassed. I was like, why would you go there?
That's Gagan for you.
Yeah. No, but he was a good sport about it.
Yeah,
he was really,
he's
really nice.
awesome.
And so, but anyway, we've like covered all our questions. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I think I just had one more actually. Because we were, obviously like we just watched Wrong Number Season 2 and College Romance Season 2, and both your characters, like, she does a bunch of stuff sometimes, like she's in situations with friendships and in situations with relationships and learning, making mistakes and whatnot. Is there anything, I don't know how to phrase this. Wait, hold on. Maybe I phrased this better when I wrote it down. Yeah, like what relationship or friendship blunders have you experienced yourself in real life? Because obviously like you're going through that in your shows, but is there anything that you've experienced where you're like, oh, that was a learning point, shouldn't have done that one? I mean, if you feel comfortable talking about it. If not.
Yeah, I really don't mind. And yeah, there are some, I mean, we're all learning, we're growing, especially at my age, you tend to make mistakes like that. It could be jokes that the other person probably cracked and you just stretch them, and that's not right. I do that sometimes. And people who know me get it, but like new friends and friends who are very sensitive sort of, and I know I need to stop. It's not that I'm insensitive to anybody. It's just that sometimes it happens, or getting attached too quickly, which is quite a blunder. So I do that. And now I'm sort of learning and getting more careful with the kind of people I invest my feelings and energy in. But yeah, these are the kind of blunders I would say I've made, and expecting too much from certain friendships and relationships, and expecting a lot of loyalty from probably a so-called best friend, which is not right. You can't really, expect them to just be friends with you. So these are the kind of things I'm learning. So yeah.
I'm going to piggyback on that question. When Achara, I'm sorry to hijack this from you.
That's all right.
When Achara was young, she was this big actress in Thailand, like on television and whatnot, doing music
Wasn't that big,
videos.
but okay.
She was pretty big in Thailand, and she had talked about this experience where when she was like 14 or 15, she had this romantic thing that she had to do in a scene, but like she had no actual real world experience to inform her acting.
I'll just elaborate. Basically, in the scene, I had an epic breakup and I was supposed to be crying. But at age 15, I'd never had a boyfriend, let alone a breakup. And I was like, I don't even understand why she would be crying over a boy. Why would you even cry over boys? That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And so I just had no context.
Right.
Sorry, I'm cutting you, but I love 15-year-old Achara. She is so sorted. No, I'm not going to cry over a boy.
Nothing's really changed, to be honest with you.
That's great.
But
That's so good.
But off of
And
that,
go on.
because you've been acting since you were quite young. Have you ever had that kind of an experience where you were thrust into this scene where it's like more mature than your own experiences could really inform you about?
Yes, absolutely. Because I started working at the age of 13. So there are scenes that, and sometimes you get cast as older people. And it definitely gets difficult. It's just that it helps if you have a director or a team that explains the emotion to you, and they just sort of help you get into it, and then you can just perform it and forget about it. Also, I try not to get inspired by my real life. I feel like it's just conjuring up too many feelings. Sometimes if it's a sad scene, it's just, I feel like if I have already processed an emotion in real life and I don't need to go back to it, and just for a scene, if I happen to tap into it and it just affects me, I try to avoid it as much as I can, but you can't always do that. You sometimes need to use your real life experiences also.
The last question I'm going to ask is from the regular chats. It's Kamal Shashank's future wife, Anna Bahat. She goes, ask Apoorva if she is ever given the chance to play some real life person in their biopic. Who would she love to play?
That's a great question because there are two women that I absolutely love and I'm absolutely inspired by. One is Amrita Pritam. She
Okay.
was a writer and she was I think she was a revolutionary in her times, and she was somebody who got married at the age of 16, and she fell in love with someone else. That was obviously an arranged match. She fell in love with someone else. She was really, really in love with him. He was a poet. It didn't work out. And then her whole story of falling in love with another person and finding love again, and the entire love story. And these two people, Amrita Pritam and Imrose, they used to exchange letters back in those times, and those letters are public, and they've been published, and people, I've read it, so I would love to play Amrita Pritam on screen. And Smita Patil ji, she is one of the actors I really, really admire. And the first time I saw her, I was very young, and my father paused the film and he made me rewatch it because he told me, look, her face is not doing much. It's just not doing anything, but I know what she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That is subtlety. Like the word that you keep hearing on a set, subtle, that's what it means. You don't really do much, but you feel it and the audience gets it. So that way I kind of got inspired by Smita Patil. So I would love to play her on screen.
That's super cool. That's actually the kind of acting that I appreciate watching more than anything. More
Yeah.
than like the big
Right.
it's something I talk about a lot, like more than the big outward acting. I like the subtle acting more than anything. You know? It's just
Right. I get what you're saying.
yeah. I guess the last super chat is from Faizan Khan. He says, also happy Women's Day to Achara and Apoorva, my two favorite ladies from the internet. Love you, Apoorva.
Oh,
Thank you.
happy Women's Day.
Yeah.
Yay.
I confused the names by accident. DT Patil is who I was thinking of. Was Kamal Shashank's future wife.
Oh, right.
Sorry, there's like this this thing that goes on in the chats here. It's like a club, and it's so interesting.
Oh.
Because I'm not part of it. It's like it's this thing I'm just looking at happen. Like people get into arguments sometimes, and like what is happening? It's like it's almost more interesting than what's happening with you in like the live stream. Like why are people fighting? Anyway. Sorry, it's a complete.
It's cute if people are finding friends and falling in love. It's great.
Yeah,
You guys are
exactly.
making that happen.
Like how crazy would it be if two people got engaged off of the conversation from our interview with you? That would be so random.
That'd be pretty amazing.
And they
And
have
so cool.
yeah, and they have babies because of you. So their first kids should be Jabby and Apoorva. And then Achara could be the
And
name
then
of
the
the
parents
pet.
make them watch the film that Jabby and Apoorva star in.
exactly.
And the children are scarred for life because they know these names as their siblings' names.
Exactly.
I'm just making things dark. I told you it gets dark after a while.
All right, so Apoorva, stick around. I'm just going to conclude the stream here. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Make sure to watch College Romance Season 2 as well as Dude. And thank you, of course, Apoorva, for hanging out with us here. Make sure to follow her
Thank you for having me.
Make sure to follow her on her social media as well. And that will all be in the description below because Achara's going to fix that in a moment. Peace out. And we have stopped.